Hey guys, it's James from Adventure Awaits Party of 6. We're excited to share with you our most recent experience at Discovery Cove in Orlando, Florida. Discovery Cove is an all-inclusive day resort owned and operated by SeaWorld Parks and Entertainment. Guests to the park can interact with a wide range of marine animals including bottlenose dolphins, rays, otters, and even sharks. Discovery Cove offers breakfast, lunch, snacks, drinks, wetsuits, life jackets, and snorkel sets, all included in your day rate price. There are several packages that they offer, including the signature Dolphin swim, access to Busch Gardens, SeaWorld, Aquatica Water Park, and you could even be an animal trainer for the day. In this video, we will highlight our trip to Discovery Cove on June 8th, 2020, which was the first day that they have reopened since COVID-19 impacted the United States. Prior to this date, we were there on February 14th, 2020 as a family and completed the Dolphin swim. That video has been linked in the description below. This trip was an adult-only trip with our friends the Douglases, and it was their first time at Discovery Cove. Like us, they are a larger family with younger children, so they are always looking for options for adventures that promote lifetime memories. Even though there is a lot of uncertainty in the world today, one thing that is for certain, a trip to Discovery Cove is unforgettable, whether you're celebrating a special event or looking for a different type of adventure for your family. Discovery Cove opens around 7:30 a.m. and it's helpful to arrive right at opening to snag parking close to the main lodge and take extra time with the check-in team to discuss additional add-ons for your adventures for that day. When we arrived, we were met with smiles from every staff member. After we parked, we were escorted through the COVID screening tents where staff checked our temperature and provided us a PPE kit, including a cloth mask with the Discovery Cove logo on it and a bottle of hand sanitizer.
What they're gonna do, you need to clean your hands with the hand sanitizer, please. They're gonna check your temperature. Then you're gonna go up there, check your bags, and then they'll check you in, and you're welcome to come.
Great, thank you so much. Masks are required in common areas of the park, including the check-in lodge, Laguna Grill, and the gift shops. Please note they are prohibited while swimming. From there, we walked into the check-in lodge for a security bag check, and we checked in for our day's adventures. We only selected the day resort package as they were not offering the Dolphin swim that day. There will be more to come on that later in this video. This package still includes access to all the resort amenities, including freshly prepared food, unlimited snacks and beverages, free equipment rentals, and a souvenir snorkel. You also get to wade beside otters in the freshwater oasis, snorkel with tropical fish and rays in the Grand Reef, and relax in the resort large pool and float along the tropical river through the aviary.
Pick up the freshwater oasis, which is over here. It's kind of like a lazy river. It's what you see as soon as you walk outside the door. So you're swimming through similar to a lazy river, and you can swim through the aviary. So you'll see some birds. Now we aren't allowing guests to get out of the water with the aviary, but you can still just swim through it. And you can see marmosets and otters in that pit. Guest services, we have 2 gift shops. Buy some things that say Discovery Cove on it, but other than that is your day.
Our breakfast included scrambled eggs, French toast sticks, sausage, fresh fruit, and assorted muffins. There wasn't much of a difference with the COVID restrictions in place at Laguna Grill, except for the additional signage, markings on the floor, and staff handed you your food versus it being a self-serve area. One of the additional provisions that Discovery Cove has put in place is to give you a time slot for lunch, as they're trying to disperse the attendees out over the lunchtime period. Their typical attendance is capped around 1,300 guests, but with the attendee restrictions that are currently in place in Central Florida, they are capping the park attendance to around 700 people. Please note, on June 8th, staff confirmed with us that there were between 150 and 200 people in the entire resort, which was very nice for us, as it was like the entire place was to ourselves. After breakfast concluded, we scoped out our spot for the day. We chose a spot in front of the Dolphin Lagoon, which was somewhat in the middle between the Grand Reef and the freshwater oasis. They did group the lounge chairs together in small groupings to promote social distancing between parties of guests. After we changed into our complimentary wetsuits and put on the provided animal-safe sunscreen, we decided to head over to the Grand Reef to swim with rays and the tropical fish. At 9 a.m., we were able to enter the water and begin our snorkeling. The rays were so happy and curious to see people again, as it had been months since any guests were in the water with them. They were very friendly, and if you were not prepared for them to all swim at you at the same time, it could be a bit overwhelming. The Grand Reef is a bit on the cooler side temperature-wise, but being in the middle of June and the high temps in the mid-90s, the water was comfortable to swim around in. In the Grand Reef, we were able to swim with various types of rays, including 4 new baby-spotted eagle rays. These babies have never seen guests in the water, so they were very curious as we swam around them. We spent about an hour in the Grand Reef snorkeling around, which was a complete blast, but we knew there was still more to explore at Discovery Cove. On our way to the freshwater oasis, we stopped at our lounge chairs to reapply the sunscreen, and we were delighted to meet some of the flamingos at the park. These flamingos take a walk each day throughout the park, but due to COVID, they needed to be retrained on their route and interacting with guests again. To our complete surprise, even though the dolphin swim was not being offered that day, the trainers did invite us to go ankle deep in the Dolphin lagoon for the dolphins to explore guests back in the water and to watch the trainers provide training on how they're going to conduct the dolphin swim once it's reopened. The trainers were there to answer questions for the guests, and the dolphin swam within inches of us, and they even photobombed a couple of our selfies. In the past, the trainer would be right there with the guests to help guide the dolphin to the guests, but due to social distancing, the trainer now needs to stay at least 6 feet back from the guests and help guide the dolphin to the guests who are standing by. Guests can still pose with the dolphins, swim with the dolphins, and even kiss the dolphins, but the trainers will need to keep their distance from the guests. At this time, the CDC states that there's no direct transmission of COVID from humans to dolphins, but this is one item that the trainers are keeping an eye on. The staff during this experience were very accommodating. Plus, they even had the dolphins show off for us too by jumping out of the water and even talking to us. Let's take a look at some of the training that was taking place at Discovery Cove.
She just learned how to stick out her tongue. It's very little bit. It's right here. Yeah, you did.
And we weren't any farther east than they were in
thank you.
My kids are very social. They think we're 20 pounds of food per day. I was like, my son.
Got a little wiggle feet. Look at this. Doesn't have any bone in there. They're not going to have a disconnect. But yeah, like technically you can't go over there. Like right there, technically go even further. Your family might even be over there. Keep going, You're gonna notice our trainers maybe not
Before we knew it, it was lunchtime already. Our time slot for lunch was 12:30 p.m. and we entered the Laguna Grill right around 12:35. As you can see from our photos, the grill looked packed, but each group or family was socially distanced from one another. Staff were cleaning all horizontal surfaces frequently, and the line moved very fast. Our food options for lunch included various wraps, salads, steak, chicken, burgers, and pulled pork sandwiches. Like breakfast, everything was served to us by staff, and they had almost all of their food options available, except for the pina colada cupcakes and the New York style cheesecake. The steak and the jerk chicken were amazing, and the chocolate cake was super moist and creamy too. After lunch, we went to the freshwater oasis to float down the river. Even though the aviary was closed to guests, where you can feed the birds from the ground, the river through the aviary was open, allowing us for it to float under the birds flying overhead. On our way out of the freshwater oasis, we were able to spot the otters sleeping and enrichment being provided to the marmosets. The marmosets have their own island in the freshwater oasis where they can climb, run, and interact with guests throughout the day. After floating in the river for a while, it was time for us to snack on some warm chocolate chip cookies, warm pretzels, and even have a beer. Select beers and wines are complimentary with your day pass, with mixed tropical drinks being an upcharge. While enjoying our snacks and beers near the Dolphin Lagoon, we experienced a typical Florida pop-up thunderstorm, which was around 3 p.m. Our advice to you is to ensure that you experience a dolphin swim, to arrive early to Discovery Cove in the morning, and request an early time slot for your swim. That way, you can increase your chances for completing the swim before the thunderstorms rumble overhead. During the thunderstorm, the staff were wonderful on communicating to us about the lightning in the area and where to take shelter from the storm. Due to numerous storms in the area, our day was cut short, in which we packed up, showered, and visited the gift shop. We ended up leaving around 5:30 p.m. that day. Even though there are provisions in place due to COVID, our experience to trip was not much different than the trip a few months before. We cannot wait to go back to Discovery Cove to explore the other amenities that they have, including the cabanas, Sea Life Adventure, the aviary, and much more. As you know, we love Disney a lot because of their hospitality being top-notch. Discovery Cove is about the same, if not more hospitality, than Disney when it comes to the guest experience. Please let us know if you'd like more information on booking your next getaway at Discovery Cove. Get out there and explore on your next adventure.